We begin this hour with breaking news out of Barrio Logan, where police are searching for the person who shot and killed a man. Thanks for being here at 6 a.m. I'm Eric Connor.
And I'm Neda Iranpour. This happened last night around 10 o'clock, right in front of a liquor store on National Avenue next to Chicano Park. Here it is on the map. News 8's Chris Grow live at San Diego Police Headquarters this morning to give us all the details that you've learned at this hour. Chris, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, guys. And look, we are here now at the San Diego Police Department because that scene has since been cleared. So homicide detectives are no longer there. Police have since pulled out their police tape and they've sort of, again, left that area. But let's show you what it looked like here at the height of the investigation. All of this happening again sometime around 10 p.m. One of the biggest questions that detectives and police now are trying to answer, not only who is this person who pulled the trigger, but also why. They do not know at this time what led up to the shooting. If these were two people who knew each other, if there was some sort of an altercation, they don't know at this time. All they know is that there is someone who pulled the trigger and shot and killed a 60-year-old man. Now, they do have a vague suspect description, but it's really not much to go on right now. What they are saying is they're looking for a man around 25 to 30 years old. But again, that's not a whole lot to go off of. They don't really have anything on what they were last seen wearing or potentially any sort of, identifying markers or tattoos or anything like that that would allow for police to be a little bit more specific. So we are waiting to see if we will be getting an update here since, of course, there has been some time since we last heard from homicide detectives about whether or not they've been able to learn any information. But what they are saying is that this is the time in which the community steps up normally to help them. This is how it is that they kind of make these breakthroughs in cases. So what they are asking, of course, is that if anybody knows anything, to call San Diego Police Department, to call Crime Stoppers, if there is something that they believe can help police get a little bit more information or a lead here on what exactly happened. Back to you.
Chris, thank you. Happening today, the first hearing on the lawsuit San Diego County filed against the Department of Homeland Security. This
is after ICE turned county leaders away at the Otay Mesa Detention Center when they were trying to conduct a health and safety inspection. News 8's Tori Apodaca spoke with a young woman who was detained and shares her story now of what the conditions were like inside. Tori, what did she share with you?
Yeah, she really just tells us that she still can't even sleep through the night fully. She's going on her mental health walks, just still processing everything that happened to her while she was detained at her green card meeting back in December. She tells us she knew the risks of showing up, but she went anyway, and now she's sharing her story.
It feels really dehumanizing to do all of that and try to do things right and be like an outstanding citizen and still get arrested and put in this jumpsuit and treated like I'm a criminal, even though they're saying themselves that they know that I'm not.
And here's Milena reuniting with her loved ones after spending a week in custody at the Otay Mesa Detention Center. Milena came to the U.S. from Peru with her family when she was 4. Since then, she's graduated college, got her master's, started her career as a mental health therapist, and recently got married. She also was a DACA recipient for years. While in custody at Otay Mesa, her story matches many of the reports county leaders say they have been receiving about the conditions there. Milena claims it took days before they gave her prescriptions for a back injury. She had little water and questioned if the food they were given was even edible at times. Back in February, county leaders had gotten written confirmation from ICE for health and safety inspection of the facility, but the National ICE denied them at the door. Only the county's chief medical officer was allowed to go inside briefly. The Department of Homeland Security has not commented on the lawsuit, but it did give me this statement that says in part, quote, ICE is regularly audited and inspected by external agencies to ensure that all ICE facilities comply with performance-based national detention standards. This is the best health care many aliens have received in their entire lives. And that hearing, again, is set for this morning at 11. We, of course, will be following this, and coming up in the next half hour, we'll have more details on Milena's story. Reporting from downtown San Diego, Tori Apodaca, News 8.
Tori, thank you. Community groups are demanding answers after Disney cruise ship workers were detained by federal agents here in San Diego. This happened about 2 weeks ago at the B Street Pier, where a passenger captured video of around 10 crew members being escorted off the ships in handcuffs. Customs and Border Protection says it is working on a statement. New this morning, officials in South Africa say the strain of hantavirus on a cruise ship can be spread from person to person. It typically spreads from dust contaminated by rodent droppings or saliva. Officials say the potential for it to spread beyond this outbreak is small. 3 passengers have died. 3 others who got sick were evacuated this morning. 2 more are in the hospital, 1 in South Africa, 1 in Switzerland. The ship took off from Argentina on April 1st and has been anchored off the West African island of Cape Verde for days. It will now head to the Canary Islands.
Also new this morning, President Donald Trump is threatening Iran with more bombing if it does not reopen the Strait of Hormuz. This comes after he paused the campaign to move ships through the waterway, saying the countries are making progress on an agreement to end the war. The U.S. naval blockade of Iranian ports remains in place. And gas prices, yeah, they jumped again 3 cents overnight. According to AAA, the average price here in San Diego now $6.21 for a gallon of regular.
Take a look outside here on this Wednesday. Looks like there's some clear skies out there, a few clouds lingering.
A few clouds, I mean, at least clearer than where we were 24 hours ago. Much different situation, in fact, than 24 hours ago, where we were dealing with plenty of scattered showers. In fact, we got all the way up to 1/4 inch, in some cases surpassed it, closer to our valley floors. We are done with the rain. The rain has come and gone. That low pressure system, in fact, is now exiting to the east, and in its place, we're going to watch as a ridge of high pressure builds. What that means for us is warmer temperatures and clearer skies for the days ahead, building each day on that progress made, all the way up to our Mother's Day weekend and even beyond, where our temperatures could exceed average by 10, 15, maybe even 20 degrees out toward our local mountains and deserts. Today's forecast takes us to the upper 60s. We're not surpassing average by much, if any at all, out by the coast. Inland, our average will be 75. There are going to be a lot of western valleys that rest closer to the low 70s, so a few degrees shy of average. Here's that live look outside. I mean, it's beautiful. We still have plenty of clouds, but enough space in between to allow for a lot of overnight cooling. So it's a chilly morning, mostly in the 50s out by the coast, the 40s inland. Sunrise, 5:57, so about 10 minutes ago. It's been a very nice one, but again, those clouds have blocked us out just a bit. Here's some of our rainfall totals. Vista came in with just over 1/10 of an inch. Santee, almost 4/10 of an inch. Chula Vista got almost 1/2 inch total. Some pretty impressive numbers for the outliers, especially. Lake Cuyamaca, for example, getting all the way up to 8/10. Now we are dry, not only for us in San Diego County, but really across the region. Just a few clouds building in at times, especially closer to the coastline, moving toward about the Jamul area. North of Solana Beach, not working with much in terms of cloud cover to kick off the day. Going to be a bit breezy by the afternoon. We'll watch for those wind gusts to climb to the teens and sustained speeds right around 10 miles per hour. Still holding on to a westerly breeze, but other than that, not much trouble to expect this afternoon. A recovery period now that we get with drier conditions and clearer skies. Vanessa Paz is checking in on traffic at 6:08 right now. Ideally, a much smoother commute today than yesterday.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and call it Wednesday light, thanks to those much calmer conditions. Let's go ahead and start with our traffic maps, and then we'll showcase a live look outside. At 6:08, we are looking at full freeway speeds, steady speeds across the entire region. You want to look out for a stalled car that may slow things down around the La Presa, Spring Valley area. It looks like it's blocking the center divided in Spring Valley on the 125 right before you hit Chamishaw Road. We're also tracking a crash. This is on the right shoulder in Escondido on the 78 West right at Nordal, so just in between San Marcos and Escondido along the 78. I was trying to see if we can get a glimpse of it from our 78 West cam at Nordal, but unfortunately I'm not really seeing anything, nor am I seeing any slowing due to that crash, so that's good news. Right now, the 78 is actually rolling pretty smooth, 15 minutes right now from the 15 to the 5, about a 10-minute ride in from Oceanside as well as Escondido. If you're traveling in from the East County, head west about 3 to 7 minutes on the 94, the 8, as well as the 52. And then here's what it looks like coming in from the South Bay headed north. Steady speeds at about 65, 70 miles per hour. It'll take you about 10 to 15 minutes to travel northbound, and under 5 minutes full span of the Coronado Bridge as you make your way from downtown towards the old toll booths. 6:09 is the time. Let's go ahead and pull up those border wait times and see what we're working with this morning. About an hour and a half or so coming in from San Ysidro's port of entry. Not too much better coming in from Otay Mesa, is about an hour 20 at last check.